Microdose, yeah. Microdose. Microdose. Microdose, dose. Microdose. Microdose, dose. Microdose. Microdose, dose.
What's good, y'all? Kush Hayes here, coming to you, the newest, hottest edition of the Microdose. Oh boy, we got big game, numeral 56 coming up, and I had to bring on Mr. Football himself. He is the co-host and creator of WaffleBox podcast. He is one half of the team at Claret and Big Blue podcast, the only podcast talking about West Ham United and your New York Football Giants. It's Arlo Winter's favorite podcast. He is Mike Fish. Mike Fish, how you doing, player? What's good?
I'm well, thank you. I love that theme song, by the way. That microdose, dose. Microdose, dose. Gets me hyped every time I listen.
It's catchy, right?
It is. Also, I'm loving this. This is the first time in a while that I've done a podcast where it's just audio only. So,
okay.
For those listening, I look like crap right now. So this is all, but you don't know that because you just hear my voice.
You should tell them that you got a long flowing mane of jet black hair and that your beard is triple braided and it's just all very kempt. That's how you should sell this, man. Don't be afraid to sell it bigger.
I look like Jason Momoa's twin brother.
I thought that was you. Holy shit.
Alternatively, I do look like that guy that you pass on the street and you think, Jesus, what happened to his life?
Does he need some spare change? Oh, be careful. He might be mentally unbalanced.
Maybe he's got rabies.
He might have rabies. I don't know about New Jersey, but that's actually not far from a possibility here in San Francisco. He might have rabies.
Never good. Never scary. But how you been? It's been a while since it's been what? Like May 7th since I was on the Microdose. It's good times, man.
Has it been? Was it only May 7th? I thought
think so.
Yeah, because we were announcing the WaffleBox podcast.
We was. Yeah. And here we are.
I keep flashing backwards even further. A full year ago, you and your co-host Alex of Claret and Big Blue came on, and we talked about the big game coming up that weekend. Not unlike what we're doing right now. The only difference was I didn't make a complete fool out of myself on this entry. I tried to do the wind is a Raider, and I knew going in, I was like, oh, I'm gonna embarrass myself, but I still feel flustered at this. It's like, wow, but I sold that whole thing, man.
You don't put yourself out there, you never succeed.
There you go. I don't know if I'd put it on my voiceover reel, but that happened. And this year I decided, let's not do that. Let's do anything else but that.
But it's exciting times. We've got the big game, or as I like to call it, the Flint, Michigan Mega Bowl coming up.
The Mega Bowl. This is the Flint, Michigan Mega Bowl's in Los Angeles this year. It's numeral 56, as I said at the top of the show here, and we got the Los Angeles Rams, who might not even be the home team on this one, and the Cincinnati Bengals. So here's some numbers. This is the Bengals' third appearance, their first time since 1989, and they have 0 wins. This is the Rams' fifth appearance, first since 2019. They've been to the game a little bit sooner, but they've only got 1 win, and that was in 2000 against the Titans, and that was with Kurt Warner. Mike, did I do a review of the Kurt Warner biopic, American Underdog, on the WaffleBox?
You did not.
I did not. All right. Well, folks, I think it's only now on video on demand. But if you're a fan of football, if you like football movies, if you're a Kurt Warner fan, fascinating little movie. It's one of those things where you're like, I wish this had a bigger budget. Zach Levi does a fantastic job. The lady from X-Men and True Blood is in it. Solid performance. It's part football movie. It's part faith-based movie. It's all biopic. Fascinating story that dude Kurt Warner has, who's now, I guess, in the Hall of Fame.
Sounds about right.
All right. Yeah, it'd be
I
weird.
have no idea who's in the Football Hall of Fame.
That's fair. So, but having dropped all that knowledge on you, sir, you got any predictions? You looking forward to this game? Who do you want to win? Who do you think might upset it? What is the Mike Fish, Claret, and Big Blue opinion?
I'm very much looking forward to it because I think I'm just worried that it's going to be one of those blowout, boring games because we've had such an amazing postseason. I mean, I've only been really following NFL, with a really tight watch for life for the last 10, 11, 12 years. But this is easily the most exciting postseason that we've had. I can remember where literally every game has been an amazing game. So I'm kind of worried that it's going to be kind of let down. The air is going to be let out of the balloon for the Super
one
Bowl
exception
or
to the rule.
the big game. I mean, but I think definitely the underdogs going into this. Definitely the Bengals. They're, like I said, they haven't been to the Super Bowl in 30 years. Oh, plus
30-ish years.
30-ish years.
1989.
And they're coming off they're the amazing story this year because they're coming off of 2 back-to-back losing seasons. I think last season they only won 5 games maybe. And so this year's complete turnaround where they've gone through the wild card, through the postseason, all the way to the Super Bowl. So they're definitely the underdogs. So if I had 6, I had no dog in this fight because I'm Giants fan. So we haven't been to the Super Bowl for a little while. But if one of the teams is going to win, I hope it's the Bengals because it's just someone different.
Mm-hmm.
But it's the bet. If you go by the bookies, the gambling numbers, they think it's going to be a tight game because I think they've only got the Rams favorite by 4.5. So they're betting on a tight, high scoring game, which is going to be because the over under is 48.5. As of recording, that could change obviously. So hopefully it's going to be a tight, high scoring game, and I hope they're right because that's what every neutral wants.
I'm glad you brought up some gambling stats. I do enjoy some gambling. I don't go balls crazy. Like I'll drop $1 or I'll get the craziest I'll get is about $20. All right, bro. Like it's just for fun. We're not trying to break the bank here, but
it took me a while to work out how it will work because typically in England, when I was gambling on football, on English football, soccer, it's pretty much you just bet on who's going to win. That's it. Whereas this is like you have to bet on who's going to win, but then you have to you're going to cover the spread. And so I was like, what the hell is the spread? And it took me a while to get used to it.
I'm still fuzzy and foggy on what the spread is. For instance, I have most of those details you just dropped a minute ago. So like the Rams were at -4 and the Bengals were at +4. So I understand like someone has to win or lose by 4 points, which is that's always an interesting number.
The Rams are the favorites +4. So that's essentially what they're saying is even if Cincinnati got a 4-point head start to start the game, they're still predicting the Rams would win, if that makes sense.
Rams are -4 per my notes here.
So if you were to bet the Bengals with the spread, if they lost by 3 points, that was still classed as a win because they were within that 4-point gap.
Interesting.
So it's complicated. It's complicated. Fun fact: they are against the spread. However, the Bengals are 7-0 in games where the spread was against them. So in a weird way, even though they're not the favorites, they have history of going against that. So who knows? Who knows?
Some of the most interesting statistics. Preseason Super Bowl odds. And what I guess that means is, before we even had the very first kickoff, this is what the line was. So the Bengals were at 15,000 was their odds, whereas the Rams were 1,200.
So you have to think a couple of crazy hardcore Bengals fans threw a couple of dollars on that, and they're sweating right now. Because that'd be a nice return.
Quarterbacks for the Bengals, Joe Burrow, and the Rams, Jared Goff. What do you know, if anything, about them?
They get paid a lot to do what they do.
All right. That's an honest answer.
Is Matt Stafford not playing for the Rams? If I missed that,
they may be. I did not highlight everybody's stats here. So like, I got the quarterback. I got the best 2 receivers. I got the best 2 kickers for the field goal attempts. And I got the best 2 rushers per NFL.com.
Yeah, I think Matt Stafford is, unless he got injured.
Nowhere on my note here. I can say per the NFL's stats, and stats only tell us, folks, what has happened, not what will happen. But based on these stats, Joe Burrow has got a lead of 1,400 points as far as like passing yards go. Over 2.3 yards attempted. Again, that's just the difference there. Joe Burrows has got a 70% completion rate as opposed to Jared Goff's 67%. I mean, these are very, very slim margins here. Going across the line, Joe Burrows is the heavy favorite to be the quarterback to win this game.
I mean, he definitely has a chance. I mean, they've caused.
It's got a 50-50 chance, Kush.
It does. But they beat the Chiefs, Patrick Mahomes' team, and they were very much heavy favorites in that game. And he came out with 2 passing touchdowns in that against a very strong defense, as you like to call it. Had a great game against the Titans, had a great game against the Raiders. So he's definitely on the up and up and with the momentum. You know, confidence of definitely being Pat Mahomes' boys. It's definitely going to help. So, yeah, I think it's going to be much too close to call in this one. So it's going to be an exciting game. But if I was to put money down, I think I'd go for Joe's boys, Joe Burrows. I think he's going to pull this one out of the bag.
Have you been to Las Vegas, or have you been to Atlantic City since that's closer? Have you been somewhere in the United States where gambling is permitted?
I've never been to Atlantic City. It's pretty close. It's like an hour or two away from me because that's like South-ish Jersey. I'm North Jersey. I have been to Vegas several times. Big fan of Vegas. Luckily, the first ever time I went to Vegas was on the company's dime when I worked in England.
Hell yeah.
So they paid for my flights, my hotel, gave me some spending money. It's great times.
What was your game out in Vegas?
I'm a slots man.
Slots can be fun, especially if you find that right combination of slots. The last time I was in Vegas, definitely played the slots and was played any Wheel of Fortune type game I could play. And what I would do is you don't even have the bucket of coins anymore. Like it's just you put this receipt in and we scan a barcode and that's your money. And like if I got $4, I would immediately cash out and then I go to the machine to the left. And then I would somehow get $8 out of that and I would cash out and then I'd go to another casino and hit that up. And I ended up coming home from a Cauliflower Alley convention like $200 richer than I went in, which is pretty unique.
Hey, if you're up, you're up.
Up is up, dude. But personally, I really like craps. It's very intense. It's very fast. It's pretty easy to learn, and depending on where you put your cash, it's almost hard to lose. However, losing is wildly dramatic when it happens.
I honestly have no idea how craps work.
It's not hard to learn, and
I know it involves.
The guys at the table will tell you all about it and tell you how to play. And as long as you don't try and talk like you've played this more than 5 times, like the dealers there or whatever they're called, they'll walk you through the whole experience.
Doesn't it also involve don't you have to find like a drunk middle-aged divorcee to blow on the dice before you throw them? Isn't that part of the game?
It's way more fun when it is. Yes, sir.
I've heard your chances are enhanced when that happens.
Can't be bad luck, right? Unless you lose.
And then she'll be on to the next guy.
Then she goes off to the next table. It happens. But that's why you're a winner, Mike. That's why you're a winner.
And just to update you live, I've just placed $5 on the Cincinnati Bengals plus 4 or 5 on the spread.
All right.
Apparently, if that comes in, I win $9.50. Whoop, whoop.
There you go. Hey, again, a win is a win.
Hey, especially when it's $15 I didn't even know I had. I'm happy with that.
That's found money, dude. That's found money.
You're playing with what am I going to do? $10? Oh my god! I could just about buy a pack of cigarettes for $10 around here.
What is the going rate for cigarettes in New Jersey? By the way, I just crossed 2,800 days last Friday.
Congratulations.
Thank you. That's over 7 years for those asking.
Well, to my local, it's just over $10 a pack.
Shit.
I buy cartons at a time, and it's 10 packs for like $100 and change.
Mm.
But if I was to cross the river and head into Manhattan, you're looking at easy for a carton, probably $150.
Yeah, that's.
I don't think I'd
awful.
be able to sustain my smoking habit if I lived in Manhattan.
It definitely becomes a luxury at that point. Seems to be more expensive than cocaine. That's disappointing.
And I don't think you get as much desired outcome with nicotine than you do with cocaine. Not that you should do either one. Both of them are expensive habits that keep you coming back for more. But yeah.
Oh, no one's ever sucked someone's dick for a cigarette. Hopefully.
Oh, I'm sure they have.
Well, not outside of prison.
I don't know. Let us know. What's the email address? How can people chime in?
You'll just have to find me at Kush_Hayes, #Microdose.
#suck a dick for a cigarette.
That's a very long hashtag, Mike Fish.
I'm trying to think what a good one would be, like a
cigarette suck off. Still too long, but that at least rolls off the tongue.
Siggy suck off.
I'm not feeling that one. I also don't want this to be a hashtag.
Nosh for nicotine.
Interesting.
So yeah,
that one works. It's a little dry, but it works.
Nosh for nicotine.
Nosh for nicotine. All right. So we're both thinking the Bengals are going to take this one.
Well, I mean, if I didn't have free money in my Caesars account, then I'd probably you're gonna have to go if you're gonna bet who's going to win. It's probably have to be the Rams. But yeah, I think it's gonna be a close game. I hope Bengals pull it off. So that's who's my money's on, my free money. But yeah, I think either way we're gonna be in for a close game.
I feel like this past decade we've had much closer games, whereas in like the 80s and 90s there was always blowouts and it was always one-sided by a lot. The 49ers beat the Denver Broncos like 54-10 or something just extremely stupid. And if you're a 49ers fan, it's the greatest day ever. But if you're anyone else, it's probably like, oh god damn, we're here for another 2.5 hours. All right, kids, buckle up.
Well, we had last year was pretty when Tom Brady and his Buccaneers beat the Chiefs 31-9. That was pretty boring.
So that was one of those years then. Yeah, because I remember it wasn't too long ago. I think if it wasn't 2 years ago, it was like 3 years ago where it was the Patriots game to lose. And then in the fourth quarter, they just dominated and came back and won. And I think that is now considered the greatest Super Bowl ever.
Yeah, that was 2016 against the Atlanta Falcons.
And then I want to say it was 2 years prior, despite the fact that the 49ers lost to the Ravens. Like, again, it was their game to lose. And then at some point, it was their game to lose by a lot. And then they came back and made it a fucking game. And, I mean, the 49ers still lost by 3. But before that first game we just mentioned, I would have said that was the greatest Super Bowl to have ever happened.
Who would that be?
49ers versus the Ravens. 49ers versus the Ravens.
Oh, that was okay. And
the Niners lost again.
That was 2012.
2012. Okay. And there's a lot of drama in that. Like we lost generator power. There was a super delay of.
I remember that one, yeah, because that game felt like at that time I was living in England, so I was like watching at. I think the game kicks off something like 11:30 midnight, and I had work the next day.
Oh no!
And then when that happened, it was kind of like, oh, do I just give up and find out who won? But I was like, no, I have to finish the game now. So I can't even remember what time I eventually went to bed, but. Yeah, that was rough. That was a rough Monday.
Where the average football game, regardless of preseason, regular season, postseason, is about three hours and change. That game went 5 hours. Like they ran out of Super Bowl ads.
Yeah, so that's probably looking at like a good shut eye at 5 a.m.
And you did okay the next day or in the next few hours when you went to work?
Probably not. I probably struggled, but that was 10 years ago now.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm sure I hated it. But normally on Monday, if I remember correctly, typically on Monday, it was like a short day for me, which I think I consider a short day. It's normally 9 a.m. till 6 p.m., which back in my day, that was a short day. So I was probably back in bed by 7 o'clock. But then, of course, you have to go back. If you're going to go back that far, you'd go back to 2011. The Giants beating the Patriots 21-17. One of the greatest
Giants beat the Patriots. Good for them. That was a hard game then.
They beat, and then 4 years prior, Giants beat the Patriots 17-14. Eli Manning loved to beat Tom Brady. He loved to make him cry. And I was all about it. But yeah, then it's been downhill ever since. But I have
Tom Brady actually cry?
Probably.
Oh, probably. Fair enough.
In my head, he did, and that's all that matters.
Mm-hmm.
It made me sleep well at night. But here's my thing, Mr. American Man. What are your thoughts on this? Do you think? Because I mean, it's not going to happen because it's so set in stone. But should the Super Bowl be on Sunday or should they switch it to a Saturday? I think it'd be better on a Saturday.
Oh, I mean,
so you can actually enjoy the Super Bowl parties. Actually, not have to worry about getting up for work the next day.
Yeah, there's a lot of man time lost the very following Monday after the Super Bowl. It doesn't phase me one way or the other. So yeah, put it on a Saturday and just make it work, guys. Come on. Enjoy your Sunday off, just resting, being hungover, not being beaten up by your bookie, and then go to work, refresh that Monday. Or make that Monday a holiday, which is super, super unrealistic and will never, ever happen. But yeah, like the Monday following the Super Bowl is catastrophic in this country, Mike Fish.
Yeah, I mean, 2018, the year the Eagles beat the Patriots. I couldn't care less about who won that game, but I remember the next day was my first day at my new job.
Oh no!
I was like, oh. But I mean, it's a first day, so it's all like a training day. But still, it's like,
but still, that shit is not fun. Your attention span is a little shorter. Your patience is a little shorter. And on training days, it's not their fault. They don't know what you know and what you don't know, but they also kind of talk down to you like you're in middle school, and it's just like, oh, fuck off. Yes, I've seen a computer before. Thank you. What else do you want to tell me about this computer?
I remember we had like a PowerPoint presentation about what to do if you discover lost property. It's like, really? Do we need a PowerPoint presentation for this?
Someone did. Someone got paid for it. Oh, yeah.
But I mean, I remember it was like 2 slides. It was one, and the guy was like, so he had the clicker.
2 slides.
Yeah, he had the clicker going, and he was like, and he pretty much delivered it like this. If you lose anything, go to lost property. Next slide. If you discover something, take it to lost property. Thank you.
Oh my goodness. I can't figure out, having heard that story, if it would have been easier to just put that 90-second instruction into the training video,
or just print it off and make it a poster.
Make it a poster. No, there we go. Forget whatever I was thinking. Mike, make it a poster.
I mean, joke's on me. I'm still working for that company 4 years later. So
someone spent a minimum of 5 hours on that PowerPoint presentation.
Probably, like, if I remember, I don't remember, but I'm sure it had like some funny gifs in it. Like, I bet he put a lot of effort into that slideshow.
For sure.
It's my shining moment.
Oh my God. You must dream bigger.
You've been waiting for this, man. Oh, the whole year has been leading up to this moment. Don't blow it. He probably practiced it in the bathroom, hyped himself up in the mirror.
I don't know. He came off super bored in that in that
What's on his
explanation you gave. Like he does this 3 times a day. It's just like, and now here's this PowerPoint presentation. It's 2 slides long. If you lose anything, go to
I'm
Lost
sure it was
and
like, hey, Steve, you doing that presentation about lost property? He's like, do I really have to do this? Like,
you guys gave me a 4,000 line spreadsheet. I'd rather focus on that. God damn it.
what a guy.
What a guy. Steve, mad respect. That's me beating my chest for the audio audience. Mike Fish, I talked about American Underdog, the Kurt Warner biopic. Do you have a favorite football movie?
But honestly, yeah, my favorite. I mean, what's the is it Remember the Titans?
I Remember the Titans. That's a good one.
That's a good one.
I want to say it's a Denzel Washington movie, Disney movie. Yeah.
Yeah, and what's young Ryan Gosling is in there, if I remember correctly.
Okay.
And what is the Al Pacino one?
On Any Given Sunday, or excuse
That's
me, Any
one.
Given Sunday. Yeah, I think that's my favorite football movie too, man. Like it's 3 hours long, but anytime you find that on TV, just randomly, just take the batteries out of the remote and throw the remote away. Like sit down and watch it wherever it is. That's shit.
Ooh,
That's a great.
It's all about the inches.
Mhm.
But then you could also argue, The Longest Yard, which me and Kush are going to talk about on an episode on the WaffleBox theme. If you want to check that out.
Yeah, we're gonna do a commentary on the Adam Sandler version of The Longest Yard. That's definitely a fun movie. We'll get more into that some other time.
We don't want to get into it.
We'll get more to that
spoil
in
it.
the commentary.
Yeah. Go to enjoywafflebox.com. Subscribe to your favorite audio podcast feed, and you'll check that out in a couple of weeks. You'll be able to watch along with WaffleBox, The Longest Yard on Netflix. But
yes.
Any Given Sunday, I think that would probably get my nod.
Have you ever seen The Replacements with Keanu Reeves and Gene Hackman?
Ooh. Let me
I would say it's just as entertaining, maybe more entertaining than Adam Sandler's The Longest Yard, but there's 2 dance scenes in it, and you're just like, what the hell is going on here? This is incredibly out of place and just weird. You fast forward through those scenes, great goddamn football movie, dude. Just very fun. Again, very fast paced, despite the fact that it's not made by MTV, unlike Adam Sandler's Longest Yard. It's very MTV-ish. So it's just, it's a lot of fun.
Gene Hackman. Yes, I remember this movie. Yes, Gene Hackman. What a guy. Is he still alive?
Yes.
Good.
He's retired.
Oh, I bet he's got to be.
He just retired unceremoniously. I don't know what was the movie he decided to retire on, and then as opposed to what came out last, but he is officially retired from the cinema.
Well, I'm on his Wikipedia page right now. I can tell you the last movie he did.
Welcome to Mooseport.
Indeed, and I'm not shocked that was what he wanted to end on, because that is.
Well, see, here's the thing. I don't know that that's what he wanted to end on. That just happened to be the last movie that was released. It could have taken 2 years to produce, could have taken 8 weeks to produce. That's it. It's all different depending on time and budget and et cetera, et cetera. But that's definitely the last Gene Hackman movie.
I mean, according to this, you could argue apparently Superman 2, the Richard Donner cut, was released after that.
Hilarious.
Where he was Lex Luthor.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I guess Gene Hackman, starring in a comedy with Ray Romano, he thought, you know what? It's all downhill.
It's probably a good script. It was probably a good script and an easy payday. And he was like, oh, I like this Ray Romano guy, or my niece likes this Ray Romano guy and asked me to work with him, so I'm doing that. Who knows? However, it was not regarded as a very good movie. It was definitely a financial bomb at the box office. I don't know how it did critically, but I don't think anybody saw it, period. That's the last you'll see of Gene Hackman in that first run film.
He's 92
20 years ago.
He's 92. My word. What was it? Was he not Mississippi Burning? That's not
Mhm.
comedy by any stretch of imagination. But that
No, sir.
he was very good in there. I remember that being.
Mhm.
It's a tough to watch, but it's a good movie.
Mhm.
How did we get a Gene Hackman?
The Replacements football movie.
Football,
Reeves.
yeah, big game.
Big game number 56.
Woo! Ow.
All right,
And the Bengals gonna win and give me that sweet money.
Mike, you got anything else you want to say about big game number 56, or anything you want to say about just football movies, football period?
I will say this is the first time in, I think, ever that I can remember where I've said that I'm looking forward to the halftime show and not said it ironically.
Okay. Is that
I'm
still
actually-
going on? I understood there might have been a hiccup or something, or they were expecting a hiccup because of COVID, but it's still going on.
I haven't heard anything, but I don't know whether it's even if it's going to be one of those like half pre-taped weird ones, like the weekend maze running from last year. But it'd be interesting to see what Dr. Dre and his gang get up to. So that'll be fun to watch. But yeah, no, that's pretty much it, I think.
All right. Well, check this out, everybody. Claret and Big Blue comes out. Is it every week, Mike?
It is. We go live every Tuesday evening at 6 o'clock Eastern, 5 o'clock Central on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch. So you can watch myself and Alex Middleton talk about West Ham and the New York Giants, football and football, balls for everyone's taste. Check that out at cbbpod.com for all the links for that one.
Is West Ham still in their season right now?
They are. Their season runs until the end of May.
Okay.
So still got a while to go for that one.
Outstanding.
And we're still with three. We're in the Premier League, we're in the FA Cup, we're in the Europa League.
Oh my God. I don't know what any of that means, but I would like to know more. However, folks, check us out on the WaffleBox podcast. Me and Mike Fish. It's the best part of Wednesdays. We talk about everything and nothing all at the same time. We have a good time. It's on YouTube and all your major platforms.
Ironically, we've never spoken about waffles, actually, which is quite funny when you think about it.
We'll make it happen. One of these days, waffles will come up. It'll be fine.
Maybe the 100th episode. But yeah, it's available on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Amazon Music, Audible, iHeartRadio, Stitcher app, Good Pods app, pretty much everywhere you want to do it. And also viewable on YouTube. Go to enjoywafflebox.com and you can join me and Kush every new episodes every Wednesday.
Every Wednesday, as opposed to Microdose, which is every Friday. And then, folks, the Kick-Ass Movie Podcast is returning for season 2. Episode number 1 of season 2 drops February 15th. That's a Tuesday. It'll be at 12 p.m. West Coast time. We're going to be talking about Avenging Force. Me and the director of Pact of Vengeance, Master Len Kapuzinski. We're talking Avenging Force. Michael Dudikoff, Steve James, in between their American Ninja run. It's a fantastic film. It's going to be a better podcast, and you can check that out here on the bosnet.family/KAMP, or camp for short. Otherwise, Mike Fish, you got anything else you want to say?
Sure.
All right, break it down.
So, if a dog that was born and raised in France met a dog that was born and raised in America, do you think that when they bark at each other, they're both kind of like, I don't understand what you're saying. I don't get it.
Sounds legit.
Or do you think bark's a bark? Like, do you think there's one universal language of dogs, or do you think they have a local tongue?
There is videos on YouTube where the same breed of dog in different countries is barking in different language. I forget what the
There you
country
go.
is. I forget the breed of dog. I'm sorry, Microdose audience, but I have witnessed this with my and like I forget if it's France or Italy, but their animal their dogs bark a little bit differently than the ones in America, and it's not like lay bark, lay bark.
Woof woof.
It's absolutely a different audible signature, and you just have to check that out on YouTube. I'm sorry, I don't have that information in front of me. That was a wild question, Mike.
Hey, you put me on the spot. Never turned down a
You
chance
delivered.
to ask something.
Anyways, folks, hope you guys enjoy the big game number 56. Don't drink and drive. Don't beat your wife or your significant other, as is apparently a thing on that Sunday. Don't do any of that stuff. Just have a good time. Check out WaffleBox. Check out the Kick-Ass Movie Podcast. Check out Claret and Big Blue. Check out Kush and Kai. Check it all out. Otherwise, for Mike Fish, I've been Kush Hayes. You've been you.
Microdose, 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 yeah, microdose.
From the BosNet family.
No one's ever sucked someone's dick for a cigarette.